Hello, good morning, morning to you all, YouTubers, YouTubettes, friends, foes. A few hours before this unilateral declaration of independence, Mr. Puigdemont intends to make public to the rest of the world. Barcelona and the rest of Catalonia are experiencing a tense calm, an awkward ceasefire atmosphere. The opposite side of Catalan government, the head of government in Madrid, usually frozen Mr. Rajoy and his right-wing right arm, the Blade, Soraya, are threatening to unleash the full weight of the law on the rebels, within brackets of course. Among these opposite and clashing positions, finally a bright ray of common sense enlightens an otherwise dark moment of Spain, maybe the darkest after Franco's dictatorship. Intellectuals, artists, and other people who culturally lead this country have signed a manifesto which they ask for dialogue to replace stubbornness, for a positive order in order to rebuild all this mess, build on the ruins now. A message of hope as opposed to hate, message of peace as opposed to violence. Apart from this well-intentioned manifesto, of course, a big change, a radical change is needed in Spain. A big renewal is needed in both Spanish and Catalan parliaments, regeneration possibly. If a political solution is not found soon, from the beginning of next week, we risk to find ourselves in a prickly mess, in a half-baked independent state with no recognition from Europe and other surrounding nations, no currency, that's bad, no army, well, that's not so bad maybe, and all of a sudden about 5 million foreigners in its now reclaimed but inhospitable land. Bigger companies and Catalan banks have smelt disaster, of course they're smart, and have left Catalonia and moved to Spain. Say no more. So at least this seems to be, if it becomes a reality, an economical disaster. Mr. Puigdemont and his political allies have dropped Catalonia they've dropped it into the lurch, of course. Now, it seems like they're starting to step back. At least Mr.Mas, who is responsible for the first famous referendum of November the 9th, has already said, well, you know, we're not so ready, really. Well, you haven't got a currency. Europe wouldn't recognise you. Of course you're not ready. Maybe Europe is not ready. We know that Spain is not ready, but I've said already, Spain is ruled by a monarchy, and it's the same monarchy that ruled Spain during Franco and before. They're the Bourbons. What do we expect from them? Enlightenment? Of course not. So maybe the solution, really, you know, is to get a house before the furniture. What I'm saying, it may be the case of trying to get this country into a federal republic, which would allow nations like Catalonia and the Basque countries to finally find their independence. But this way is half-baked cookie. I ain't gonna eat it, and it's gonna taste bitter. So that's all for today. Again, I send you a message of peace, of love, of understanding, of dialogue, and I wish you a good weekend with the usual whoosh.